For Naked Time, I really do think that the show sucks this early on. Comical premise, barely a science fiction device. How much sincere good came out of the show a bit later is genuinely beyond me. I could ask how they came up with some much bad ideas early on, but bad ideas permeate the Star Trek 3-season run, it is quite sad to say. The Naked Time is boring, if nothing else, and why of all original series episodes that Next Gen chose to do a sequel to, they chose this one, it boggles the mind. Perhaps they thought it would be cute and funny, or that it would correspond with the running order, 4 episodes in odd on both occasions, but given how serious and exalted Next Gen became, it is baffling that they homaged Naked Time so early on in its runtime. Though we must remember, first season Next Gen is a lot closer to the original series tone, deliberately so. They toned this down in the second season, but first season Next Gen is as silly, if not sillier, even stupider than the original Star Trek series can be. Think about the first interaction of the Ferengi, think about all the godlike beings who show up, including Q himself at that goofy blob monster which kills Tasha Yar like a red shirt, or especially that horrid, abominable second episode, so racially abhorrent that not even the original series bothered to produce it. Nichelle Nichols would veto it, if nothing else. Don't mess with that woman, she is a powerful goddess. But anyway, some decent imagery and publicity stills to be drawn from Spock in that biohazard protection spacesuit, but otherwise this is some of the original series at its worst, or at least season 1. There's some bad stuff in season 3, and 2 even, but early on in the run, man, Star Trek could be really fucking subpar. Oh, and Sulu's interest in fencing here, one of the most famous Sulu moments in all of the show, or series at large, inspired Sulu's fencing sequence that tacked on insert action scene here moment in Star Trek 09, which is a decent scene in execution, but it just makes you realise how desperate and sad Star Trek 09 and Abrams were in attempting to make that film as non-Star Trek as possible. I used to think Star Trek 09 was not so bad. I was a Star Wars fan as well, and prior to at least Force Awakens coming out, or even just that initial Guardians of the Galaxy, it was nice to see a film that was effectively a homage to the Star Wars original trilogy, especially given how sore we all were about the prequels at that time anyway. However, given how bad the 2 Abrams Trek sequels were, Into Darkness in particular was as bad if not worse than Nemesis, 09 both looked better and worse by comparison, but really mostly worse. Those 2, or 3, but I didn't see the third one, Guardians films, which aren't great as such in my own view, they're okay for what they are, made Star Trek 09 look pretty bad, let alone the actual Star Wars 7, 8 and Rogue One. We all know what I think of 9, it's what everyone else thinks of 9. I don't hate 8 by any means. One lousy sequence ruined that movie for everyone, along with Luke Skywalker having actual character development, God forbid apparently, and Laura Dern having purple hair, but those latter 2 things are hardly issues in my opinion. One is a solid component of the script, I think, and Laura Dern's hair colour is just irrelevant to the film, frankly. Oh, but Naked Time. Nah, fuck Naked Time. I'm moving on now, screw this.